welcome to Mythic Sleep. I am young Homer, and tonight I have the honor of guiding you through the opening chapters of The Rise and Fall of Zeus, a timeline series. This series unfolds the epic story of Zeus from his mysterious beginnings to his rise to power and beyond, a journey woven with divine struggles, ancient prophecies, and whispers of power that shape the cosmos. If this is your first time here, welcome. Mythic Sleep is a place where we share mythical tales told with gentle care, helping you to unwind, relax, and drift into a restful sleep. Each story is crafted with soothing detail to bring calm to your mind and invite peace to your night. Tonight's feature will take us through the first 3 stories of Series 1, Origins, the birth and early life of Zeus. Together, these episodes reveal Zeus's earliest days, beginning in the shadows of prophecy and following him to his hidden childhood in the secret corners of Crete. In these opening episodes, we will see the seeds of destiny begin to grow, concealed from danger yet waiting to rise. Take a moment now to close your eyes if you wish, and settle into the warmth and comfort of this quiet space. Let yourself find a gentle rhythm, breathing in deeply and feeling calm. Fill your chest. Hold this breath softly, then release, allowing any tension to melt away as you exhale. Inhale again, breathing in peace and warmth, and let this gentle feeling settle deeply within, as steady and boundless as the stars. Now, take one last full breath in and let it go, feeling yourself sink into calmness, ready for the timeless journey that awaits. In Episode 1, The Prophecy, Cronus and the fear of his children, we meet Cronus, ruler of the Titans. There is no king more powerful, yet none more afraid. Haunted by an ancient prophecy, he learns that one of his own children will rise up against him. Desperate to control his fate, Cronus attempts to evade destiny. But as we know, fate is not so easily bound. His wife, Rhea, watches in silence, carrying within her a secret plan, one that may change the course of destiny itself. But will this plan be enough to defy prophecy, or is Cronus's fear too great a shadow to overcome? Take a slow breath, feeling the mystery settle within you, like the quiet rustling of leaves in a darkened grove. What hidden choice could alter the path of prophecy? In Episode 2, Swallowed Whole, the fate of Zeus's siblings, we witness a silent world where Zeus's brothers and sisters dwell, trapped in a prison born of their father's fear. Swallowed whole, they are held in the shadows, each one caught in the stillness of their own waiting. In the silence, whispers of hope echo between them. Hades, their silent brother, offers a steady voice, urging them to endure, while Hera, his sister, vows to stand strong. And though they linger in darkness, a quiet strength begins to grow among them. They wait, their fate yet unknown, their hope resting on the smallest sliver of light. Let your breath flow like the hidden strength within, a calm presence, even in shadows. What light could possibly bring them out of this endless night? In episode 3, The Cave of Crete, Zeus's hidden childhood, we return to Zeus, now hidden far from his father's reach, growing in secret on the island of Crete. Nestled in a cave beneath the starry sky, young Zeus finds peace, unaware of the storm that awaits him. Protected by gentle nymphs and watched over by Amalthea, a nurturing creature of quiet strength, Zeus discovers the calm of a hidden world. And as he grows, he begins to sense his power, a soft, steady force quietly stirring, preparing for the day he will rise. But how long can one stay hidden before destiny calls? Breathe in deeply, feeling the stillness of this ancient cave, the calm that rests in quiet places. What spark will lead him from this sanctuary into the world beyond? As we rest here in the calm of these first stories, allow yourself to hold on to their quiet mysteries, like stars resting softly in the night sky. Now, as we close, let's take a final moment to drift into relaxation with a guided meditation, one that brings you into the warmth of this story's beginning. Close your eyes once more, if they are not already closed, and take a slow, deep breath in, letting calm spread through your chest, as steady and gentle as the rise of the moon over a quiet sea. As you exhale, let your body soften, your shoulders sink, releasing into the softness around you. This is your time to let go, to rest, and to feel completely at ease. Now, let each breath bring you into a gentle rhythm. Each inhale and exhale as soft as the whisper of an ancient tale. Take a slightly deeper breath in, filling yourself with calm, and hold it softly for a moment. Then, as you exhale, feel any remaining tension melt away, leaving only warmth and tranquility. One more time, breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, feel yourself sinking further, calm and serene. Let's guide each part of the body to relax, allowing rest to enter with every breath. In a world where destiny and despair weave together like shadows at dusk, Cronus ruled supreme. The Titan king, draped in power and surrounded by dread, sat upon a throne carved from the bones of the earth, a monolithic seat of darkness casting long, haunted shadows that stretched across the land. The air was thick and damp, a breath of ancient fears. Here, in the cold and unyielding fortress of his reign, Cronus's heart and mind were haunted by a prophecy that clung to him like a shroud. It was a prophecy he could neither escape nor ignore. Beware, Cronus, whispered the oracle's voices, dripping with ominous certainty. For one day your own child shall rise against you, overthrowing your reign and bringing an end to your power. This chilling foresight coiled within his thoughts, sparking an ever-growing paranoia in his heart. What he once saw as his unbreakable power now felt like glass, fragile enough to shatter at the faintest breath of the prophecy. His rule would no longer be a certainty, and his throne no longer invincible. The tendrils of fear gripped Cronus tightly, as relentless as the passing of time. The prophecy to him was no mere warning. It was a call to action, a summons to preserve his dominion by any means necessary. The throne room, usually a symbol of his reign, became a prison of his own making, echoing with the whispers of his dark resolve. Each child he had devoured became a reminder of his iron will, an act that bound his fate tighter to his own fears. With each swallow, he sealed away another life, one of his own blood, within the depths of darkness. Cronus's heart hardened with each sacrifice, and with it, his resolve turned steely. Every child born to him would face the same fate. They would be taken into the dark before they ever saw the light. So, bound by dread and fortified by fear, Cronus encased himself in an impenetrable armor of power, every shadow cloaking him in an aura that no mortal or god could penetrate. In the depths of Cronus's cruelty, a silent sorrow grew in his wife, Rhea. As the titaness of motherhood, Rhea bore the weight of each loss in silence, each child's fate marking a wound upon her heart. With every devouring, Cronus's heart grew colder, but Rhea's spirit grew restless, yearning to defy this destiny of despair. In the quiet moments of the night, when darkness fell upon their kingdom, Rhea turned her gaze toward the stars. Her voice trembled as she whispered her plea into the void. Grant me the strength to save my children, to preserve what remains of my love. Unknown to her, the very stars she beseeched began to shift in response, weaving the threads of fate into a new tapestry. Destiny, it seemed, was aligning to prepare for a conflict that would shake even the heavens. Then, at last, Zeus was born. A dawn light spilled through the palace, cutting through the darkness that had lingered for so long, filling Rhea with a fierce hope she had not known in years. She wrapped her child in cloth spun from starlight, a precious being marked by destiny, and vowed that he would escape Cronus's shadow. With purpose in her heart, Rhea fled, carrying her infant to the far edge of the world. She sought refuge on the island of Crete, where the salty sea breeze caressed her face, promising sanctuary and safety. Within Crete's hidden grottos, she found solace, she discovered a cave far from Cronus's reach, adorned with crystals and vibrant wild flowers, where Zeus could be nurtured and shielded from his father's wrath. In this secret world, Rhea entrusted her child to the care of nymphs who welcomed her, and under the watchful eye of Crete, Zeus would grow, undisturbed by the terrors of Cronus's reign. This sanctuary would become his cradle, and from this place he would one day rise to fulfill the prophecy. In the lush chamber of the cave, Rhea laid Zeus on a bed of soft moss, a cradle woven by nature itself. The air within was rich with the scents of wild flowers, and the gentle hum of the nymphs surrounded him, a chorus of protectors and guides. They watched over the young god, laughing and singing, their voices weaving stories and lore into the fabric of his being. The nymphs nurtured his spirit, instilling in him a connection to the world and a strength that grew each day. Every tale they shared, every lesson they imparted, became a thread in the tapestry of his life, fortifying him for the trials that awaited him. He grew within their care, not just as a child, but as the bearer of a destiny that would shape the heavens. Yet, even within this sanctuary, whispers of fate lingered. Zeus felt the stirring of power within him, a flickering light that grew brighter each day. The nymphs, knowing of the prophecy that foretold his rise, often spoke of it as they watched him grow. "You are destined for greatness, young one," a nymph would say, her voice a soothing balm. "But with such power comes a great responsibility. One day, you must rise to challenge the darkness that seeks to consume all you love." These words, planted like seeds in his heart, began to grow, igniting a flame within him that burned brighter with each passing day. Courage and defiance took root, preparing him for the darkness he would one day face. For Zeus was not merely a child of divine lineage, he was the embodiment of hope, a light born to pierce through Cronus's shadow. As Zeus grew, the shadows of Cronus loomed ever larger in his dreams. The cries of his siblings, trapped within their father's belly, haunted his sleep, urging him to embrace his destiny. Though shielded from the tyrant's reach, Zeus felt the weight of his family's suffering and the pull of a battle not yet fought. In time, he would confront the darkness that had taken them, forging a path to reclaim the future stolen by Cronus. The prophecy foretold of his rise, but also of the challenges that awaited him, a complex weave of alliances, betrayals, and trials that would reshape the very fabric of existence. As the sun set over Crete, casting long shadows across the grove, Rhea's heart swelled with both hope and fear. She had given her son a chance to escape the clutches of Cronus, but she knew that this was only the beginning. The road ahead was lined with challenges, each one a step toward the destiny that awaited him. Thus began the saga of Zeus, a god born from love, nurtured in hope, and destined to challenge the very foundations of the cosmos. His journey was only beginning, a path of trials that would forge him into a hero. As Zeus grows, preparing to one day confront his father's shadow, the fates of his siblings hang in the balance. What horrors await those still trapped within the belly of Cronus? Will Zeus's power be enough to free them? Join us in the next episode as this epic saga unfolds, revealing the tale of loss and determination, and a fierce desire to reclaim what has been taken. Within the twisted and shadowy depths of Cronus's belly, an ancient darkness pulsed, thick and suffocating. Here, where no light could reach, the Titan King's own children lay trapped in an abyss of despair, a twisted prison formed from their father's insatiable fear. Swallowed whole in his desperate attempt to avoid the prophecy, each child, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon, felt the weight of his madness bearing down upon them. Here, time was meaningless, an endless stretch of blackness where the warmth of sunlight, the scents of the earth, and the sounds of life had faded into distant memories. This prison was not only one of flesh, but one woven from the strands of Cronus's twisted fate. It echoed with the memories of the life they would never know, binding them to a fate sealed by their father's greed and fear. Amidst the swallowed children was Hestia, the goddess of the hearth. Though gentle and nurturing by nature, her spirit flickered within the darkness, clinging to hope with a quiet yet unbreakable resolve. Known for bringing warmth to all she touched, Hestia now found herself struggling to keep that same flame alive within her own heart. "We must hold on," she whispered, her voice barely breaking through the silence. Though their prison was unyielding, she believed their bond could carry them through the shadows. Together, we must endure. The light of our love will guide us, even here. Her words, though soft, became a beacon within the suffocating void, her voice carrying a sliver of hope that touched each of her siblings, reminding them of the warmth that once bound them. Demeter, goddess of the harvest, drew strength from Hestia's words. She remembered the fields of grain she had once dreamed of tending, the orchards bursting with fruit, the joy of life she longed to share with the world. Her memories became an anchor, a reminder of the beauty waiting beyond the darkness. "We are not defined by this darkness," she declared, her voice a quiet but firm resolve. "We are more than this prison, and we will hold on to the life that waits beyond. The earth is still out there, waiting for us. Together, we will rise again. As she spoke, a spark of resilience flickered within her siblings, their resolve strengthened by the vision of life beyond the shadow of Cronus. United, their spirits formed an unbreakable pact against the tyranny of their father's fear. Hera, the queenly goddess and sister of Zeus, held her ground within the cold darkness, embodying the strength that would one day make her queen of the gods. Though she felt the weight of despair pressing down, her voice rose, a beacon of strength within their silent prison. We have been swallowed, but we are not defeated, she declared, her voice fierce and unwavering. Cronus may have imprisoned us, but he has not broken us. We will find a way to reclaim our lives and our futures. Her defiance lit a fire within her siblings, their shared determination sparking a quiet rebellion within the belly of the beast. Together, they began to murmur their plans, weaving their hopes and dreams into a single thread of purpose, a bond no darkness could break. Hades, often misunderstood as a brooding and solitary god, found his own courage kindling within him, inspired by his siblings' words. Though darkness was often his domain, he refused to let it define him here, in this forced prison of Cronus's making. If we are to escape, we must stay united, he said, his voice steady and resolute. I may one day dwell in shadows, but I will not let them consume me now. Together, we have the strength to break free. With his declaration, Hades' spirit joined the growing resolve of his siblings, each of them bound together by the love and determination that had been their only solace since their imprisonment. Amidst the despair, a flicker of hope emerged, a memory of Zeus, their youngest brother, who had escaped the clutches of their father. Hestia, with quiet confidence, whispered, "He will come for us. He carries the light of hope within him, and he will challenge the darkness that surrounds us." The mention of Zeus stirred something deep within each sibling, a reminder that they were not alone. Though separated by Cronus's power, they were still united by fate, and the thought of Zeus, free, alive, and growing stronger, filled them with newfound hope. As they whispered stories of Zeus, their spirits lifted, and the shadows around them seemed to fade, if only slightly. Their memories of the child who had escaped became a tether to the world beyond, a reminder that their fight was not in vain. Beyond the walls of their prison, Zeus, cradled in the arms of Rhea, grew strong. Nurtured in the hidden caves of Crete, he played under the watchful eyes of the nymphs, blissfully unaware of the prison that held his siblings. Yet, deep within, he felt an unspoken connection tugging at him, an echo of the family he had yet to meet and the destiny that lay before him. With each passing day, the whispers of fate grew louder, urging Zeus toward his purpose. He sensed the plight of his siblings, even as he played among the forest creatures, a faint calling that would one day drive him to face the truth of his origins. The divine spark within him kindled into a flame, a growing power that would one day defy the darkness of his father's dominion. As he grew, Zeus's destiny became clearer, a journey waiting for him that would test his strength and his spirit. The child, born of prophecy and hidden from Cronus's wrath, was not just a survivor. He was the light destined to pierce the shadows. In the belly of Cronus, the siblings held on to this hope, drawing strength from the thought of Zeus. Their silent rebellion against Cronus's tyranny became a song of defiance that echoed through the darkness. They knew that Zeus, the child of destiny, would come, a leader born from love and loss, destined to rise against the cruelty of their father. In the darkness, they clung to the thought of Zeus's strength, knowing that he would one day return to save them. For this struggle was not just their own, but a fight for the soul of the cosmos, a journey of love, courage, and liberation. As dawn approached in Crete, the shadows of Cronus lingered over Zeus's sanctuary, a reminder of the challenges that lay ahead. The siblings felt the pull of fate within the dark belly of their prison, a faint light guiding them to hold on until the child of prophecy would come. The road to liberation would be treacherous, filled with trials and allies yet unseen. But their resolve remained unshaken, and their bond unbreakable. Together they waited, knowing that one day their brother would rise to reclaim their lives and reshape the heavens. As Zeus begins to feel the stirrings of his destiny, he grows under the loving care of Rhea and the guardians of Crete. But as he learns of his family's fate, the young god's courage begins to awaken. Join us in the next episode as we uncover the secrets of Zeus's hidden childhood, his guardianship under the nymphs, and the nurturing bonds that will forget the strength needed to defy a Titan king. Far from the ominous shadows cast by Cronus's dominion, there lay a sanctuary. Crete, an island as ancient as the heavens themselves. Its hidden groves and secret caves embraced a mystery known to few, a cradle of life where Zeus, the youngest child of Cronus, would be shielded from his father's relentless fear. Rhea, his mother, had chosen this place with a heart full of love and resolve, trusting Crete's protection to guard her son against the fate that had befallen her other children. Here, within the cave's rocky embrace, the sounds of the outside world fell away, leaving only the tender lullabies of nature. Within the sacred cave, Zeus found himself not alone. The gentle nymphs of Crete, caretakers of life and protectors of young gods, took Zeus under their care. Amalthea, a nurturing spirit in the form of a goat, watched over him, providing milk that sustained his body and a warmth that nourished his spirit. Her gentle bleats, soft as lullabies, filled his early days with a quiet joy. Alongside Amalthea, the buzzing bees of Crete gifted him honey as golden as the dawn, their efforts guided by the nymph Melissa. This divine honey, sweet and pure, strengthened Zeus, filling him with the vigor he would one day need to face the challenges that awaited him. As he tasted the honey and nestled against Amalthea's soft fur, Zeus felt safe, loved, and free from the shadows that haunted his family. Each day brought a new adventure, each moment a gift nurtured in kindness. The nymphs, who watched over Zeus with care and devotion, knew of his destiny. They sensed the power growing within him and understood the role he would play in the world beyond their sanctuary. They were gentle in their lessons, guiding him not through commands, but through stories and whispers of wisdom. As he wandered through the lush green groves surrounding the cave, the nymphs shared with him tales of the stars, of the great forces of nature, and of the love that bound all living things. They spoke to him of courage, kindness, and the strength that comes from facing the darkness without fear. And though he was young, Zeus listened, his heart absorbing every word as if they were ancient truths meant just for him. One day, a nymph whispered as they watched the sun dip below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the island. "You will have to rise and face great challenges, dear child. But remember, the light you carry within is stronger than any shadow." The nymph's words filled Zeus with a quiet courage, a sense of purpose that grew within him like the roots of an ancient tree. The island of Crete itself seemed to embrace Zeus as its own. He spent his days marveling at the natural beauty surrounding him, the gentle flutter of birds, the vibrant blossoms of wildflowers, and the rustling leaves that sang to him in the breeze. Nature became his playground, his teacher, and his friend. In time, Zeus learned to climb the rocky paths, to listen to the whispers of the trees, and to feel the pulse of life in every stone and leaf. He sensed a power within him that resonated with the earth, as if he and the island were bound by a shared spirit, a connection that would become his strength. Under the watchful eye of his guardians, Zeus discovered an inner stillness, an understanding of the world that allowed him to see the beauty and potential of life. He felt himself growing stronger with each passing day, his connection to the earth deepening like roots entwining in the soil. As Zeus grew, he began to sense something unfamiliar yet exhilarating, a stirring of power deep within him, a light that burned like a small, steady flame. The nymphs noticed these first flickers of strength and recognized them as the signs of his divine heritage. One day, as he played among the rocks, Zeus lifted his hand and a faint spark of energy flickered from his fingers, lighting the air around him with a soft glow. Startled but thrilled, he looked to the nymphs, whose eyes sparkled with pride. "This is the beginning," one of them whispered, her voice gentle and filled with reverence. "You are meant to wield great power, young one, but power must be tempered with wisdom and compassion. Remember, the strength within you is a gift, not just for you, but for the world." Zeus's heart swelled with a sense of purpose, a knowledge that he carried something unique within him. The flickering spark became a reminder of the path that lay before him, a destiny that awaited beyond the tranquil boundaries of Crete. From time to time, Zeus would ask his caretakers about his family, sensing there was a story yet untold. The nymphs, reluctant yet knowing he needed to understand, began to share pieces of his past. They spoke of Cronus, his father, whose fear had driven him to imprison Zeus's siblings in darkness, consuming them in a desperate bid to prevent a prophecy from coming true. "Your father feared you, dear child," a nymph explained softly, her voice full of sorrow. "He feared the prophecy that spoke of a child who would rise to overthrow him. But fate has a way of weaving its threads, and here you are, protected and cherished, while your siblings wait for release." Zeus listened, his young heart a mixture of innocence and newfound determination. Though he could not yet understand the full weight of the prophecy, he felt its presence like a distant call, echoing through the hidden corners of his mind. He sensed the strength growing within him, a spark igniting into a flame that would one day be powerful enough to challenge the darkness his siblings were trapped within. The nymph's words lingered in Zeus's thoughts, planting seeds of courage and defiance in his heart. As he grew, he began to see himself not just as a child hidden from harm, but as a symbol of hope. The nymphs spoke of the prophecy with a reverent awe, their voices soothing his eager spirit. "You are destined for greatness, young Zeus. But remember, with great power comes the responsibility to protect, to uplift, and to restore." The path before him was still shrouded in mystery, but within his heart the flame of purpose burned bright, a light that would one day stand against even the darkest of shadows. Each lesson, each story, and each day spent among the nurturing arms of Crete strengthened Zeus, building within him a resolve that even he did not yet fully understand. As he played under the canopy of trees or rested by the shimmering streams, the shadows of Cronus's tyranny grew ever larger in his dreams. Though he remained sheltered from his father's reach, Zeus felt the weight of destiny upon him, a calling to one day confront the darkness that had taken his siblings and reclaim their freedom. He would rise, not only for himself, but for his family and the world that awaited his light. The prophecy spoke of his rise, but also of the trials that would come, a path of alliances and betrayals that would shape the very fabric of Olympus and the world beyond. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a soft glow over the island, Zeus stood at the entrance of his cave, feeling the gentle breeze brush against his face. His heart swelled with gratitude for the life he had known, for the protection of the nymphs, and for the beauty of the world he was beginning to understand. But he knew deep down that this chapter was only the beginning. A path of challenges and triumphs lay ahead, a journey that would define not only his life, but the destiny of the cosmos. Thus, his hidden childhood came to a close, marking the end of innocence and the start of a divine journey. Zeus, born from love, nurtured in hope, would soon step into the world to change the very course of existence. As Zeus's destiny unfolds, he draws strength from the gifts of the nymphs and the creatures who shelter him. Join us in the next episode as we explore the sacred bonds formed between Zeus and his divine caretakers, and the nurturing gifts that will prepare him for the trials of the future. While our tales tonight have drawn to a gentle end, the stars above Olympus still hold countless mysteries, each waiting to be shared under a quiet night sky. We'll gather here again soon to journey through the stories of other gods and legends, stories that remind us of resilience, transformation, and the beauty woven into the fabric of life. For now, let's transition to stillness, guiding you into a place of deep rest. Let this be a time of pure relaxation, where you can release each thought and allow your mind to settle. Close your eyes if you haven't already, and take a slow, deep breath in, letting calm expand within you. And as you exhale, release any lingering tension, letting it drift away like clouds, clearing from a quiet sky. Now, bring your awareness to the rhythm of your breath. Each inhale, filling you with peace. Each exhale, drawing you deeper into comfort. Breathe in deeply, feeling warmth spread through your chest, and hold it softly for just a moment. And as you exhale, feel yourself sink further, fully supported, calm, and serene. Now imagine a soft golden light at the top of your head, like a gentle warmth that invites relaxation. With each breath, let that light flow down, releasing tension from your forehead and eyes, letting your jaw soften. Feel the warmth continue down to your neck and shoulders. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, allow your shoulders to drop, as though setting down the weight of all that has come before. Let the golden light spread gently through your arms, down to your fingertips, feeling them grow heavy, relaxed, and still. Notice the gentle rise and fall in your chest and belly, inhaling as your belly rises and as you exhale, releasing any remaining tension, feeling light and free. Shift your focus to your hips and thighs, letting them sink deeply into the bed, fully supported and relaxed. Now, feel the warmth move down to your knees, calves, ankles, and finally to your feet and toes, letting each part release, grounded, calm, and at ease. With every breath, let go a little more, letting yourself be embraced by the gentle quiet of this moment, as though you too are a part of the timeless story of night and stars. Inhale deeply, feeling peace expand through you, and exhale, settling into a space of deep, serene rest. Let this be your time to drift off into sleep, to find comfort and calm in the quiet of your heart. Take one last deep breath in, and as you exhale, feel yourself float into a peaceful slumber. Rest well, and we'll return to these stories when next we meet. Good night.